Way back when, I have reviewed both Black Raven and Kulshan Brewing Company's Christmas beers. Kulshan's Kitten Mittens, which was a very nice winter warmer, and Black Raven's Festivus for the rest of us. Both very good, quite enjoyable, pleasant, quite different. Holiday beer offerings, Christmas beer offerings. So when I saw they did a collaboration, these two very excellent breweries, I was quite happy to give it a try. So today we'll be drinking Kitten Feathers, a fruited winter ale, a collaboration between Black Raven and Kulshan Brewing Company. So fruited winter ale, you're thinking fruited sours or maybe a fruited brown. There's a variety of types of beers that are fruited. To be a fruited winter ale is kind of interesting. You don't typically, definitely fruits play a role in a lot of Christmas beers. Sometimes just the flavors of dark dried stone fruits, dates and figs and prunes are not uncommon in holiday and Christmas beers. This one doesn't specify one, but they call it fruited, so there's fruit in the recipe. It will be very interesting to see what role that plays. Specifically, it says it is brewed with Pacific Northwest sourced blackberries and raspberries, which is very, very interesting because very interesting to me. I live in the Pacific Northwest, and blackberries and raspberries are two prime crops here. And I have had some truly excellent and wonderful beers that are made with those berries. And I've had some that it tasted like they ordered in the latest artificial version of the flavors. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one turns out. Also, for Christmas, I got a couple new accessories for my recording rig. You cannot see them, but hopefully you can see the effect of them. I now have two additional spots, which are kind of nice. So I have my ring light up there, and then I have two spots down here, which are LED and battery operated, which gives me some flexibility for recording outside, and they're like color. You can change all the colors on them. So I just have them set to like shades of white right now. Warm over there and cold over there, just to try maybe give more lighting while dimensionality is preserved. I don't know. I'm entirely an amateur, but it'll be fun to see, what sort of terrible effects I can misuse these lights for upcoming. But let's give this a try and see how it is, eh? Okay, yeah, lots of fruit really up front. Before your nose gets in there, there's a little bit of roasty, the color too, so there's definitely some kind of a brown ale kind of look to this. The smell is more like fruited sour, which in a brown beer is entirely possible. You can have sour brown ales. A lot of brown ales are sour. There's a little hint of cocoa in there as well. And perhaps a wee bit of roasty or smoky, which would not be unpleasant, depending how it's used. The berries are definitely there. I think I'm smelling the raspberries more, but thankfully it's a natural aroma rather than an artificial one. So here's hoping, right? It is interesting how hit or miss often the raspberry in particular is. I've had far more successful blackberry beers, including Rogue Brewing's wonderful blackberry honey Kolsch, which is probably my favorite fruited summer beer, which I shall sadly no longer be able to drink. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like a lot of the raspberry ones, even raspberry beers from Pacific Northwest breweries. Something about the raspberry flavor, maybe it's the type of raspberry they use. Far too often it comes across as quite artificial. And I don't want to say that's what this is going to be, but like I said, I'm holding out hope. And the initial aroma speaks to it not being artificial. So there's that. there's definitely a bit of tartness, but then again, fresh berries tend to have a slight tart character to them, especially raspberries. Blackberries you can get more like darkly sweet, but raspberries nearly always have some of that acidity to them. And yeah, I'm still picking up that roasty, almost smoky character, but it's really in the far back. I have to stick my nose way in there to smell it. Let's see how it tastes. Okay. Oh, nice. It's kind of like a berry jam or compote over a pudding, which isn't at all a bad thing. Not at all. Not really pudding, but there is kind of a malty middle to this that's quite pleasant. So the fruit is subtle and soft. It's not a sour beer. So good. I mean, I like sours, but yeah, it's not a sour beer. You get the fruit, and then and it finishes with this kind of roasty and dark hop finish. Definitely Pacific Northwest, but you can read it like roasty kind of charred logs, or you can read it like dark hops. It bridges that gap nicely. And then in the middle, there's this kind of brief moment of smooth, slightly sweet maltiness that's moist, kind of like a English style, a British style pudding, not a American style, from the box. Oh goodness, what is that called? Not creme anglaise. Custard. Not a custard. No, it's more like a baked pudding kind of thing. There's quite a lot going on in there, and that's really pleasant. Like, all the different parts are there. It's not like there's a clear... There is a beginning, middle, and end, but it's not like disjointed or separate sections. Each of the parts are there, and they each play a part pretty clearly, but they're almost all there, like, for the entire time, especially now it's my, third drink, whatever. That's really pleasant. You kind of go into it expecting, like, the acidity to build and then bite, and it never does. And so you have this kind of fruity beginning, and you're thinking, okay, here comes the acidic note that's going to come in, but it never. It just stays this nice kind of berry jam. The raspberry is definitely present. I would think the blackberry probably serves as kind of a backing note to that, maybe bridging the gap between the raspberry's brighter notes and then the darker notes of the rest of the beer. And then there is maybe a bit of like dates, kind of that sweet that date sweetness across that's also kind of bridging, and then this malty middle and nice roasty finish. That's pleasant. The fact that they did not go for a sour on this, instead going for the nice, like a nice roasty brown, is unique and makes this a really pleasant thing to enjoy. Well, the fact they did it well makes this a pleasant thing. The fact that they didn't go sour and instead went this nice malty roasty brown, I'm just enjoying that fact that it's slightly different from what one possibly may expect, having read a fruity winter ale or fruited winter ale there on the can. So yeah, I mean, Pacific Northwest fruits, can never go wrong with that. I mean, you can, but they don't go wrong with that here. Dates and other dried dark fruits, those are definitely holiday flavors. I mean, fruitcake, right? I do like my fruitcake. We still have our half of our Collins Street, our current year's Collins Street Bakery fruitcake there in the kitchen. Another excellent one, if you're here in the Northwest, though their prices have gone up over the last few years because they've been discovered, is from, oh, that's going to bug me. It is a Benedictine monastery in Oregon. Guadalupe Monastery, I want to say. You can find them online easily enough. Look up, like, you know, Oregon Monastery fruitcake, and they sell them in like 1 pound cubes. And 1 pound, I kid you not, is a 3-inch by 3-inch square. It is a dense piece of cake, but it is delicious, excellent. And if you're unable to find a Collins Street Bakery fruitcake, I think it's a little bit less on Amazon, or if you order it through their website. Easy enough to find. Super awesome fruitcake. Anyways, this kind of reminds me of fruitcake in some regards, though the smoky roastiness kind of takes it out of that, but still a dark fruited loaf. Yeah, this is a dark fruited loaf that happens to have a smoky wood fire not far from it. So nothing wrong with that. And all the holiday, you know, as I've talked about with some of my other beers, the holiday beers, they check these boxes of the like mental bookmarks. They evoke the right things in our head, and this one does, and it does it very well. So once again, from a brewery that makes from breweries that make 2 very tasty holiday and winter beers, Kulshan's Kitten Mittens and Black Raven's Festivus, they got together and gave us kitten feathers. You know, because why not? Is your cat making too much noise all the time? Is your cat constantly stomping around, driving you crazy? Is your cat clawing at your furniture? Think there's no answer? There is. Kitten feathers. Finally, there is an elegant, comfortable set of wings for your cat. This isn't Red Bull for cats. I think they let the interns write that ad copy, probably. Let them stick to learning how to brew beer, maybe. Anyways, hey, this is me, Matthew. Oh, I suppose I should rate it. This is a 3-star beer. It's a tasty, enjoyable beer that I enjoy. It's a little bit unique, which is nice. It's well executed, which is nice. It's tasty, which is nice. And I'm going to drink the rest of it, which is nice. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.